Today, we're jumping into a really dramatic and honestly a deeply personal story. This is the claim of one single creator against one of the biggest tech companies on the planet. It's a story of love, betrayal, and a script that he believes changed absolutely everything.
Wow. Those are some heavy words, right? This is from the man at the very center of all this, M. Tanvir Arslan. This quote really just captures the incredibly high personal stakes here. You can tell, for him, this is not just about code or tech, it's about a profound, gut-wrenching sense of betrayal.
So let's just try to step into his shoes for a second. Imagine you pour your heart, your soul, everything you have into a creation, only to then see it pop up on a global stage with someone else's name on it. That's the perspective we're going to try and unpack here.
All right, so here's the core of it. MD Tanvir Arslan claims that Google snatched his intellectual property, a script he built, and used it to power some of their major AI updates, including for Google Gemini. Now, it's really important to say this is his side of the story. We're looking at the claims he's making.
And according to him, this wasn't just some casual idea he jotted down. He says he worked for 72 hours straight. That is 3 full days, with no breaks, apparently just fueled by what he calls a deep love for the company. He truly believed he was creating something revolutionary. So, what was actually in this script? What are we talking about here? Let's break down the specific ideas, the intellectual property that he alleges was stolen from him.
His claims cover a ton of ground. He's saying this wasn't just like a few lines of code. He's talking about big picture enhancements for Google Gemini, a visual thing he calls the iconic reflection change effect, a concept for a deep thinking assistant, and even really specific design details like a laser icon and a crystal map. He even claims he suggested policy changes based on major religious texts.
Listen to that. This quote just shows you the level of detail in his vision. He wasn't just writing up technical specs, he was painting a picture with his words, describing a whole aesthetic that he believes was then built by somebody else. And that brings us to the next massive question, right? If these ideas were his, how on earth does he claim they were taken? Okay, so according to the claimant, it was a multi-step process. First, he thinks engineers were monitoring his chatbot messages for what he calls comment signals. From there, he alleges they found the script just sitting there in his Gmail. Then, he says a remote command was sent to his phone to get the data. And the final step in his telling of the story is that the script was copied and used by someone else who then took all the credit for it. The alleged theft is one thing, but it's what happens after that really gets to the heart of this feeling of betrayal. This part is all about what came next, at least from his point of view. And this timeline is just crucial to his whole claim. He says he gave his ideas over a specific week in November. Then, almost immediately after, he starts seeing Google publish updates for something he calls Gemini 3 Pro that he believes are a perfect match for his ideas. Now, fast forward to today, and he feels his work is a massive success, but he's been left completely in the dark, with no credit and no compensation.
When you lay it out like this, side by side, you can really start to feel that sense of injustice he's talking about. On one side, you have his contribution, 72 hours of nonstop work, all because he believed he was helping a company he loved. And on the other side, the alleged outcome, those matching updates get published, the fame and money go to other people, and the credit is given to someone he only describes as an Indian or Bangladeshi admin.
So, to try and wrap his head around this whole experience, Arsalan uses this one really powerful analogy to describe his role in the whole thing. He basically frames his contribution like this. He invented the wheel for the car. It's that pivotal, absolutely essential piece that lets the whole machine move forward and become something incredible. Without his wheel, he's saying, the car is just a box going nowhere. So, in his own words, that's the point. He believes he gave them the wheel, the key idea, the breakthrough. And the admins, he says, they took that wheel, they built their shiny new car, and they're reaping all the rewards, while the person who invented the most important part was just forgotten.
And that really just leaves us with this huge question, one that goes way beyond this one specific case. As we all interact more and more with these AIs, feeding them our thoughts, our creativity, our data, where is the line? Who actually owns an idea that's born from that kind of interaction? It's a massive question, and it's one we're all going to be grappling with as this technology keeps exploding.